So I feel pretty beat right now. I just got done with an 8-hour workday. With a little, about half an hour where I had to put a fire out. And, I'm not happy about the situation. My HIPAA information, my private information, was given out by doctor's office. And this is a HIPAA violation. And the thing is that I know who did it. I know exactly what was going on with this. And I have enough on my plate right now. I don't need some little snot getting in a power struggle with me over something. This gets another thing. You know, it's I kind of doubt this will get back to it. I can put this in public, and I don't think this is going to get back. Um, my primary care physician's office has a very messed up telephone system, and it all traces back to the person I'm having a problem with, which is the receptionist at the doctor's office. And she is very enamored with her own intelligence, and she's very dumb, very dumb, and she thinks that she can schmooze with different people and make all these connections. And the insurance company is very aware of what she's doing and everything, and they warned me about it. And they think they can do she can do all these things and stuff and get away with it. And I have a paper trail, I have screenshots and all of that of what she did. And she didn't even spell my name right. And was trying to cancel a doctor's appointment that I made, which could endanger my health and life even. And I have screenshots of everything she did. She sent it to a family member, and very dumb girl. Dumb, dumb, dumb. And the thing is, the insurance company knows what she does. They're aware of it. And I'm an insurance agent. She chose to pick a fight with me. I know all these agencies I can report her to and have her thrown in prison. Why she would think it's a good idea to pick a fight with me, you know, she thinks I'm white, maybe. Uh, you know, I, I don't think I look white, I mean, obviously, if I'm around people that are people of color, I don't come across as, certain other races and stuff because they hear how I talk, and they hear I'm not fluent in certain other languages. And they want to get all racist with me and everything like that. And yeah, people of color can be racist too. I've seen it. I've seen it in, in other communities too. So, I think it's very foolish to pick that kind of a fight. And maybe this is a generational thing because I've seen this kind of behavior from a coworker. at a place I used to work, and he thought he was brilliant, Gen Z, and he was gonna try to get me fired and all this kind of stuff. I'm a homophobic football player, and he was constantly bullying a male coworker, and I was sitting nearby and listening to that, and I thought it was disgusting what he was doing to that coworker, and I finally complained about it, and I got fired, which I quite frankly, I didn't want to work there listening to that stuff. It was disgusting to have to hear about it. He was threatening to do something to that coworker, which only a man can do to another man, and I will put it that way so that I don't get flagged. Football player talk, and Gen Z thinks sometimes, or I won't say all Gen Z, because I have a nephew and a niece that are Gen Z, and they're sweethearts. But there are some people from Gen Z that are nasty little pieces of poop that think they are brilliant, and they think that people that are older than them are dumb. I've come across these types, and they're actually quite stupid people. They will do things like picking fights with insurance agents and releasing HIPAA information when that could land them in prison and things like that, And I don't know why they think that's a good idea to do that when an insurance agent knows exactly what agencies to report them to that could land their little Gen Z butts in prison for doing that kind of stuff. I don't know why they think they're brilliant when they do those things. All they're doing is, provoking a fight that will put them in prison. And if they really want to push that issue, there's other things I could do to harass them back. And none of it would inconvenience me. I could get extremely ugly to that person. Girl looks like Lauren Boebert. Has that little rat face of smug, self-importance, and enamored with her own intelligence by doing this thing where she makes it impossible for patients and other providers to get through on the phones. Just really, really proud of herself for doing this to the phone system there. So that she doesn't have to work. Because, who wants to actually speak to people on the telephone when you can push that unpleasant job duty on somebody else, I mean, just because you're getting paid to talk on the phone doesn't mean you actually have to talk on the phone. You can make somebody else do it. Because if you're an introvert, it's hard to talk on the phone. Unpleasant. Boo-hoo-hoo-hoo. No. If you're getting paid to answer the phone, how many minutes has this been on? Answer the fucking phone. That is your job. If you're a receptionist, you answer the fucking phone. You get paid to do that. That is the whole reason that you work there. If you are a receptionist, if you work at a call center, the only reason you bring a paycheck home is because you have to pick up the phone and answer it. Or if you're wearing a headset, answer it. Otherwise, go get a job at McDonald's. Go get a job doing some other thing You know, go get a job filling in potholes for the city. You don't belong at a receptionist desk or a call center if you don't want to talk on the phone. I don't care if you're an introvert. I am so sick of people crying about that they're on the autism spectrum or they're an introvert. Um, Jobs are not about making you feel good. They are not about coddling your little psychological preferences. The world is not designed for introverts. There used to be two kinds of people roaming on the face of the earth. There were Homo sapiens and there were Homo sapiens Neanderthal. And Neanderthal went extinct because Homo sapiens is is an extroverted species. Neanderthal died because they wanted to be introvert. That's why most people are extroverts. And that's the reality of it, you know. And if you want to be an introvert and not talk to people, you don't deserve a job working on a telephone. You don't delegate it out. You don't delegate your own job out to somebody else when you're fucking bottom tier receptionist at a doctor's office. That's the lowest tier of it. And you definitely don't delegate it to a call center where people are not trained. You know, when I was a case coordinator, I had to have 9 weeks of training to do that job. I spoke with the insurance case coordinator. They have even more training now than that. They go through a lot of training for that. I had 3 months of training to be what do you call it? An insurance agent before I got my license, and I passed that pretty quickly compared to a lot of people. That's not even counting all the continuing ed training that I've had to do on top of that. Um, you know, this whole thing has made me so angry that I had to take some of my day to deal with this. Unprofessional to the extreme behavior coming from somebody that works at a doctor's office. Petty behavior. And, you know, because people are coddled so much, you know. A receptionist is the bottom tier, and you know, if you're actually physically working in the doctor's office, you probably had to go through a course and get like an associate's degree or something in medical, whatever it is. They do have to get some kind of a certificate to work at a doctor's office. But when they're working in a call center, there's no training for that. None whatsoever. And this person that I had to run in with works at a call center. They get paid like minimum wage. And they're just answering phone calls. And this individual told me that I needed to show her respect and all this kind of stuff. It was just insane stuff that she was saying to me. And then this receptionist was telling me that it was her idea to hire this call center and stuff. Just loony kind of behavior from both of them. Loony. Because the phones don't work because she hooked it up that way. So the receptionist is loony, and the call center role is just deranged, unhinged kind of behavior and everything, very unprofessional. And I don't even know what she's saying to the Spanish speakers and stuff, but it was just unhinged kind of behavior and everything, and it's just, you know, and, I'm a cancer patient, this is how they're treating somebody that's terminally ill. What are they doing to other people, it's just, you know, you know, and it I can tell she just sits there, and like, the receptionist, she sits there in the back and never talks to anybody, never says hi to anyone. She's with the RBF going on, you know on the side and everything, you know and maybe I have a little bit of RBF going on, but I try to smile at people when I'm around people and everything. I'm used to being alone all the time, which I don't like, but I have no immune system right now, so I really can't. If I look a little unhappy, it's because I'm not around enough people and everything, but, I like talking to people. That's why I'm doing this. And, if you don't like talking to people on the phone, don't get a job working on the telephone. I've always loved talking on the phone. I've always loved it. When I was in high school, we had landlines back in those days. I was the one that was on the phone all the time. There were three other people in the household, and I was the one that was monopolizing it all the time. My little sister had to go to the payphone to use it. And by the way, in case you didn't understand how, if you were born after uh, after the 1990s, that is how we did it back in those days. If you were outside of the house, we had payphones all over the place. And my little sister would go to the clubhouse and use the payphone over there. And she'd go there with her best friend and use that one, and they would call the 900 numbers, chat on that all the time, because they could put a quarter in there and run it up, and then the payphone would shut off after a while because they weren't supposed to be doing that. But I had actual friends that talk to you on the phone. I was on the phone for hours all the time in high school and stuff, but I'm still friends with them and everything. That but it just made sense to me to get a job doing telemarketing after I graduated from high school. But it's if you're I don't even understand the thinking about, why somebody would not want to talk on the phone, but I guess, if you don't want to talk on the phone, do something where you don't have to work on the phone, Why would you get a job as a receptionist if you don't like talking on the phone, Get a job as a researcher online or something like that, or as a fry cook, or there's a lot of stuff that you can do that you don't work on the phone. I was a secretary for a long time, you know but I did have to use the phone for that, and they obviously that doesn't exist anymore, but there's other things and stuff. Handyman, Obviously, somebody is a receptionist. I'm sorry to be really blunt, but that doesn't take a lot of uh, wattage up here to do that kind of a job, and that didn't look like an 18-year-old working in that job. If you're if you're if you're over 21 and working as a receptionist, I'm sorry, if you're not a temp and you're doing that job, you don't have a lot of the ambition. I'm going to be really blunt about that. I know this economy's not good, but that is not a job for people that are mental heavyweights. Um, so if you don't want to work on the phone, get some other kind of a job where you don't have to deal with the public. I mean, the jobs are out there. If you don't want to work on the phone and you're dumb, go to McDonald's and fry hamburgers or something. Don't sit there at a receptionist looking like this. Scowling at patients in the doctor's office and then thinking you're the smartest thing that ever was born, because you came up with the idea to delegate your job out to a call center and fuck up all the telephones in the doctor's office so patients can't get their referrals, and the specialist offices cannot get through the request medical records or referrals or anything like that, because came up with this brilliant idea to delegate her personal job out to somebody else because she's an introvert and doesn't want to talk to anybody. She's an introvert. She needs to do some other kind of a job. And if she's too stupid to do anything else, I know the perfect job for her. And if she really loves working in a medical environment, I know the absolute perfect job for her, an orderly. Those jobs are always available, and I don't see a lot of people talking to orderlies. It's a good job for an introvert. They always need orderlies. She could mop floors or something. That would be perfect for her. And she can go around looking like as much as she wants. She doesn't have to smile at the patients. She never needs to talk to a patient. She doesn't have to think. She can just do her job and clean everything at a hospital. They always need those people. And probably pays better than what she does. Damage control there. And I am sorry if that comes across as snotty, elitist, blunt, whatever, but she's doing a lot of damage in the job that she's at. And I really don't have any sympathy for her. There is a place for everybody in our society, and for people that are rude and ugly like that, they don't belong in a position where they have to deal with the public, and they definitely don't belong in that kind of a position when they're farming out their job to somebody else and causing all kinds of damage like that. And now I am the one that's stuck putting out a fire when I have other stuff to do, and it's not just me. I had a provider's office contact me and say they couldn't get through on the phone. Why? Because messed up the phone system. And I apologize about my language, but I'm really, really angry about this. And profanity is called for in this situation. And I have been known to use profanity when I'm angry, and it really is. Um, Now you know what I'm like when I'm mad. I really haven't even. This is the tip of the iceberg. I mean, what I'd like to do is actually go up to her in her face and scream at her, because but that really wouldn't solve the problem at all. What I'd like to do is get her and her friend in the call center fired. Does that sound like Karen behavior? A little bit. Is it called for? Yes. Because my PI was given out, my personal information. HIPAA was violated, and I have screenshots that my older sister sent me to prove it. And that's something somebody could go to prison for. Outrageous stuff, And if you have somebody do something like that to you, stand up for your rights, call your insurance company, and file a complaint against the provider that violated your HIPAA privacy. You have a right to do that. You absolutely have a right to do it. Stand up for your rights. I'm posting this on the internet because I doubt that will know that I have a vlog online. Yeah, my providers don't know about it except for the oncologist, and they don't know my name on YouTube. So they've seen me film. The oncologist nurses have seen me film, obviously, but they don't know my name on here and everything. But and they're completely innocent. In fact, I think one of them even filed a second complaint against that same provider. So I suggested that they do. So we'll see what happens and stuff. So I have the hiccups again. So we'll see what kind of fun results from all of this. So my eyebrows fell out again. They got itchy, and I scratched on them, and I think my hair came out again. Anyway, I'm starting to feel a little better. I think the iron supplements helped. And so I'm going to put HIPAA on this. And other than that, it's late and I want to go to sleep. So it's been a very long day and everything. I want to go to sleep. What I really want to do is eat junk food, and I know that is not good for me. That's another thing. And if I can suggest one thing as advice for anyone going through what I'm going through, do not keep a lot of junk food in the house. That has stopped me from having problems so much. And I have slipped up a few times and have junk food. And but as a whole, I don't keep a lot of junk food in the house. I have kept Cheez-Its, and that is it. Once in a while, I will get candy. And one time I did order a box of Hershey bars from Costco. And that caused some problems. So I don't recommend doing that. So when you're picking food out, do not get yourself junk food. Much as it feels good to have junk food, do not eat sugar when you have cancer. Don't keep it in the house. Don't keep a stockpile of it. Make it inconvenient to yourself to have sugar, so that you have to make like a special trip to go get it. You know, um, keep like your fourth favorite chips in the house or something. Cheez-Its are okay. They're not Doritos. But when you're eating and everything like that, that's my advice and stuff. Keep like your fourth favorite junk food in the house for chips. So you have something, but it's not like something that you really, really want all the time and everything. Don't keep like bags of Doritos and Sun Chips or or don't keep Doritos in the house. And I know how I am and stuff. I would eat Doritos all the time if I had them and everything. I can't control myself around that stuff. And I think Doritos are just something that you can't resist and stuff. So, and I'm not being sponsored or anything like that. Um, don't keep brownies or chocolate bars or whatever, because the sugar is really bad for cancer. It's very bad. And I've seen it where my numbers didn't even improve one time when I had a lot of sugar. So that would be advice that I would give, is to not keep that kind of stuff in the house. Just um, don't do it. Only only keep something that's good, but not like your favorite thing. So you have it, but you're not eating it all the time. And don't be afraid to complain. That was some advice a breast cancer patient gave me years and years ago when I had a scare, like 20 years ago. That turned out to be a false alarm, but um, it was good advice. She told me to be a bitch. Those are the ones that survive. And I thought about that, and I keep it in mind, Don't don't let some nasty little staff person walk all over you and everything. And this person will pay for what they did. She definitely she made a big mistake. Who she decided to pick on. For one thing, I'm not a nice person. People think I'm like a little pushover because I'm short. And I seem unassuming, but I'm very mean and nasty and spiteful when I'm crossed. And I do know how to get people in trouble and everything. I just don't normally show that side. But people who cross me find out what I'm really like on that. And this is going to find out. And if you know Myers-Briggs, pretty sure that the receptionist is an INTJ. If you know Myers-Briggs, and they think they are the smartest people on the face of the earth. And I'm an ENTJ. We know how to put them in a line. I have a cousin who's an INTJ. She's my best friend. But INTJs are big fat babies when it comes down to it. And they're driven by emotion, and they're not as smart as they think they are. They all think they're smart, and their intelligence level is like that compared to what they think that it is. They all think they are extremely brilliant, and they're not. INTPs are more up there. That's something too, is Myers-Briggs, and I'll talk about that for a second too. ENTPs are the smartest personality type, and then you have your ENFPs, INTPs. INTJs are sometimes gifted, sometimes they were extremely dumb. I have encountered a few that were below average intelligence. And you heard that right. I'm talking about like 90 IQ. And, and I bring that up. Why? Because that's important to them. I don't care. I do not care. I don't go around asking people, what is your IQ? I don't care. Like I said earlier, there is a place for everyone. The world needs people with low IQs just like it needs people with high IQs. I'm an ENTJ that was in a program for special people. So, I befriended this person, so I don't care about that, you know. And I said before, I really did not appreciate the way my mother was like making a big deal about it with, you know, the difference between my sister's IQ and me, I don't care about that, but the fact that INTJs make a big issue out of it, they're not the smartest type by any means, you know, and they make a big deal about, oh well, we have a lot of people that are geniuses, and they are, when you actually measure how high their IQ is out of the genius IQs and stuff, is usually like barely qualifies as genius compared to like an ENTP often is like super high. So um INTPs are usually pretty high up there too. But you also have how well they function as a human being. That's a tough one. I would say INTPs are more functional than maybe the, I don't know. I would get a lot of hate for that. ENTPs, if they find their way, can be functional. They really need to find their way. And usually that's as a teacher. If they figure out, they really need to find their way, and that's tough. They can be very, very smart. like a teacher or a journalist, something like that. Um, ENFPs settle for things, I think, but INTPs too. They will settle for a normal career. I have a coworker who's INTP. She's an insurance agent, and we're in the same department. We both got demoted. I don't know how she got into sales, but she's competent at it. She's very smart. Um, INTJs, they'll a lot of times they'll figure out some kind of a thing where they use some kind of a consulting or something like that. But and then you have the dumb ones, and the dumb ones are despicable. And this is where you get things like the receptionist at the doctor's office, where because they're an introvert, they think they're the most brilliant person that ever walked the face of the earth, or they took the Myers-Briggs test, saw that they're INTJ, and they think that they are second only to Mark Zuckerberg in spectacularness. And they have pictures of Nikola Tesla and Mark Zuckerberg on their wall, and they put their own picture right next to it, and they know that they're going to be right next to them. And they were like in the special classes in school and stuff, and they're on the spectrum, and they are not just on the spectrum, but they're also special, and they're not functional human beings. Um, I knew somebody on Facebook like that, and this person was such a train wreck of a human being. They were working in an adult industry for a while and lost custody of their child. Their mother took custody of their child, and they were spreading COVID around because they were flying around on airplanes while they were testing positive for COVID. This person was told that they had a possibility of having some kind of a tumor, so they went and shaved their head for no reason. Made themselves bald like me, but my hair fell out. This person shaved their head because they thought they had cancer. So they thought when you have cancer, you're supposed to shave your head. INTJ. And I am just like getting started. I don't want to give out somebody's personal information or dox them on online. This person is so completely stupid and autistic at the same time that I mean, I just cannot even, like, you know, it's not a good combination to have both of those traits. People assume that autistic people are smart, and they are not always. This person is just very dumb. Dumb and dysfunctional train wreck of a human being. And that is what this receptionist reminds me of. She sits there and just feels so proud of herself for absolutely fucking up the telephones at a doctor's office. Absolutely proud of herself for doing that, and despises me for pointing out that her system doesn't work. Hates me with a passion. I feel her hate when I walk through that door. I see her glaring at me when I go through the door. I'm I'm a fucking cancer patient, and she looks at me like that, like, puta come mierda, I hope you die, and I can feel it, and yeah, she is Hispanic, probably Puerto Rican, but you know, I feel it, and I see the coming from her, and everybody else is all like, hi, and all that. Not her, you know, and that's the thing and stuff is, people that use that excuse that they're an introvert and that's why they're ugly human beings, or I hate people like that. Because I have so many friends that are introverts that are really friendly. It's it's a lie. It's an excuse. It's an excuse they use for being rotten people. Some of my best friends from high school are ISFP, ISFJ. I had a roommate that was ISFJ, really nice lady. Helped me move more than once. Never asked for anything in return. Almost got heat stroke too. I felt terrible about that. Um, let's see. Um, I had a friend that was one of my best friends that was ISFP, but we're not friends anymore. That I had an ex boyfriend that was INTP that started dating her. He was still my boyfriend when he did that, so I'm not friends with either of those two anymore. But introverts, but that was the reason that we're not friends anymore is because of that. It's not because of like other things. It was because of that, But as far as introverts and stuff, before that we were really good friends. She sent me stuff in the mail and everything, like homemade barbecue rubs and things like that. Uh, Trying to think of INFP is another one of my best friends. She is one of my absolute best friends. I would say like in the top two. And ISTJ is another one of my top two besties. And so they don't go around saying that they hate people and things like that. ISTJ throws little get-togethers and everything. She's cool. And INFP is a little socialite. She knows everyone and stuff. They don't use that as an excuse to keep from associating with people. They are definitely introverts. There's no doubt about it. They don't know as many people as I do, but or they don't choose to associate with as many people as I do. But they're not antisocial. And you know you know, I I I don't like this thing where people are saying that they're an introvert and they can't they can't be nice to people because they're an introvert. And I don't like this thing where people won't do their jobs because they're an introvert. That's disgusting to me. Get a different job if you can't answer the phone. Don't get a job answering phones. You know, it, like especially medical receptionist. Don't get a job as a medical receptionist. Get a job as an orderly. If you can't be around people, don't get a job dealing with the public. And I've had this discussion with a friend of mine. He has some social anxiety, and with a good reason and everything. And we were talking about that, about jobs for gifted people. I was talking about, there's basically two industries where gifted people are kind of tracked. I was like, probably go for tax preparation if you don't want to deal with the public. That's kind of the if you don't want to deal with people, there's other there's still something out there. This is turning into a long video. It's a rant. I had a rant about this. I'm so absolutely angry about this and everything. So I'm just gonna call this a rant, and that's just. So I'm gonna upload this anyway. Watch it if you want. If you want to see me go off about people who are in the wrong career, and have a good night.